Hello YouTube, and welcome back to my third video on mobile gaming controllers. Today, we will be looking at the Razer Kishi, which is this one right here. It is very similar to an Xbox controller, almost like an Xbox controller was cut in half and split apart so that it can go on both sides of your phone, but then the contours of the grip were taken off. So, without further ado, we're going to do one of these. Last time on Is It Worth It? My sensitivity I set for really low just because I am not good at hitting, at finding targets in the distance. Like when something's really far away and you have to move just a little bit to the left or the right to get it. I don't have the hand-eye coordination or whatever to just move this just a little bit. For me, it's like this way or that way, like all the way to the extremes. Which on this little controller there's not much of extremes. On the Razer Kishi, for example, you have extremes. You have full Xbox joysticks here. These are awesome. But the disadvantage to the Razer Kishi is there's no grip. Like it is low profile, flat. So like you can't do this comfortable. Hold here, nice round trigger buttons. However, the Razer Kishi, this is click. It's on, off, or on. There's no other options that way or that way. The Razer has actual triggers. Like when you pull a little bit, it's like 25% in, 50% in, 75%, 100% in. And so, like if you do a controller tester, you could see that it actually registers it on a X, Y, or an X scale, like these ones. There's a percentage that it's up or it's down, and a percentage to the left to the right, or a combination thereof. Now I'm going to exit out of this and then restart with the Razer Kishi. To use a Razer Kishi on this particular device, on Android, there is another app you have to use. You have to use the Mantis app. So to use Mantis on this, what I'm going to do, take that thing out. You power this off by just pressing and holding whichever. So if you're using an iOS, press this to turn on, press and hold to turn off. Android, press this to turn on, press and hold this to turn it off. This one's cool. It has this little clip here. You push out, this comes off, and then it expands out. Same deal with this guy. The Backbone controller, the newer models of the Razer Kishi and Game Vice has a controller like this. Theirs expand larger for bigger phones. So this one, it's enough to hold on the Samsung Galaxy S8, but again, only like a 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch extra space. So most phones aren't 3/8 of an inch, or aren't much longer than 3/8 of an inch longer than the Galaxy S8. Oh, this is an S8 Plus. I keep saying S8. It is a Plus, so it is bigger than the regular S8, but it's not as big as the Galaxy S20 Ultra, actually any of the Ultras. To use this controller on Android, you have to use developer options and upload a script. I think it's a bat file. Anyways, you upload it to the phone, and then you can use the overlay just like with this brand. If you download the Mantis app, you have to download the Mantis Buddy to make the screen overlay work with it, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Yes, Mantis Buddy is not running at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch that here real quickly. The Mantis Buddy can be downloaded through Mantis's website. The Mantis Pro app is free to use with ads. And so also what you do is you turn on developer mode, which most Androids is you go to find developer mode on your phone. It varies by Android, but they tend to be very similar. You go to About Phone, tap on that, go to software information, find build number, tap on that several times. It'll say you're now one step away from being a developer. Tap on it one more time, and then you'll have to confirm your password. And then it says developer mode has been turned on. Then you go back to your settings. At the very bottom, there's now developer options. Scroll through till you find USB debugging mode. Tap that, turn it on. It says allow USB bugging. Yes. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your USB cord, plug that into your computer, plug that into your phone. Boom. So open the Mantis app, the Mantis Pro app, then click up here at the top where it says tap to start Mantis Buddy, and then here it says Android to PC. Connect that. The USB cable is plugged in. USB debugging is turned on, and then you're going to go to your computer. It has a website here, mantispro.app/buddy. Buddy, you can download a zip folder, unzip that, and open that on your desktop. Then also what you have to do is, there's a few files here. You can activate Mantis Pro Buddy through the Wi-Fi. I don't know how to do that, but the easiest thing to do, and this description is on the website too, is to click on this mantisprobuddy.bat. Double click on that, and this whole thing runs by itself. Da, 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 da. And then it says, activation completed, please launch Mantis Gamepad Pro. We're going to launch that, and then we are going to go back here. It says here, Mantis Buddy connected, you are all set. So you just back out of that, and then now we connect the gamepad. So I'm going to take the USB cable out because we don't need that anymore. And connect the gamepad to the phone like this through USB-C, and now it'll show one gamepad is connected, and now we have a full Xbox feeling controller. You have full-size joysticks, you have comfortable concave joystick controllers, full range, regular Xbox pad. Now, one thing I did notice about this too is with this one, the XYAB is directly above, if not slightly to the left of the joystick. Like the A is just slightly off-center to the left of the center line of the joystick. And most Xbox-style controllers, it's diagonally to the right. And so this one, it does shift it diagonally to the right. Not quite so much. So if you're used to playing Call of Duty on Xbox, the muscle memory is not completely there, but it's closer. When you're here, you pick your game. Right now, you can add a whole list of games. The only one I have right now set up for Mantis Pro is Call of Duty. There is ads on the free version. If you get the Pro Pass, it's a one-time fee versus Backbone has like a monthly or yearly subscription. I'm not sure what it is, but this one, you can just play it free. Now you have these stupid ads. I'm just going to cut this whole thing out. Yeah, okay. So, starting Call of Duty, it's going to load up the regular way, and it says Phase 5 is now active. Now, one thing cool with Mantis Pro is you can have different phases for different games. The thing is, I found out that they're not super reliable in staying in the same position. So, whereas with this one, with the V3 app, you can have all these different presets for all these different games. This one, you have to build your preset yourself. So, it does take a little bit more time, and I wouldn't spend too much time building presets because they seem to want to reset frequently. Now, that just may be because the Samsung Galaxy S8 is old as dirt, and it has lots of problems, and it's beat up, but we'll go here real quickly to the custom layout. So that's where the in-game buttons are, and then if I click this, it shows where I put everything else. So with Mantis Pro, the Buddy overlay, you have basically as many button combinations as you want. I have my left stick here, right stick here. I did the same thing where right bumper plus B, A, X, and Y are my kill streaks. Up arrow is to pick up a weapon off the ground. Y is to switch weapons. A to jump. B to slide. The typical whatever. But then you can do, like, if you have Battle Royale, you can add a new phase. You can do a copy of yours with just modifications or an entirely new phase. But again, with this old phone, it may just be it's outdated or it's glitched or whatever. But I have noticed, like, I'll go into a match and the overlay will have shrunk. So, like, I'll open this and all of these buttons will be really tiny up in the corner. It'll be still the same shape, like all of them be in the same relative to each other in the same location. They'll just be all up here, which is annoying. Because then I'll like go in and I'll go to do something and nothing will happen, and then I'll open this and it'll be way off. When you add a button, you can, right here it says key, you can push it and it says waiting for input, so I can like press and hold this and this and this and this, and then now the custom button it added is RB plus B plus A, so then when I push this and that, now it touches the screen there. You can do your combos, but it doesn't really make too much sense to do like massive combos because it just taps the screen at that location. So like if I click RB, now I have an RB button which will tap the screen at the emote, for example, and then when I click RB, it'll do the emote. However, I also have RB down here for changing from the lethal to the tactical throwable, so it will actually do both. It'll do the emote, and then it will also change my lethal to my tactical throwable. I also have RB linked to B, A, X, and Y for my kill streaks. So then again, when I push RB to do a kill streak, it changes that as well. But that's not a big deal. So we'll get into a match with this. It is much, much more Xbox feeling than any of the other controllers. Playing with this sort of controller with full range joysticks, it is the most comfortable. Now, I'm also going to say, too, that I have played some other games with this one. This one, because of its flip-up design with the phone up here, it makes it very top-heavy. The controller wants to, like, hang down like this. You only have one viewing angle, so you're kind of, like, sitting here, like, well, I mean, you can, it's just heavy. So, this one right here, with the phone directly in the center, I don't even know where I am. With the phone directly in the center is much more balanced. Whoa. Yep, we're not all about that dying today. Oh, one thing I should point out with this controller is it has pass-through charging. So I can plug this thing in while I'm playing, and it charges. With this one time my battery's about to die, we were winning the match, so what I did is I slid the phone up and I ran the cable up so that it was like connected funny through there. It did the trick, but it looked dumb as heck. One of the things with these full joysticks versus the other controller with the little baby joysticks is when you go all the way to the left or all the way to the right, you do turn around faster than, and I should have demoed that while we're in the match. So I guess we'll just go in another match and I'll talk about it there. Okay. While we're changing matches here, let me just look at this kill death ratio here. We have 58 kills, 3 deaths, 4 captures. The MVP of the game had 5 captures, 1 more capture than me, but only 50 kills, so I got more kills, but he got more points because he got more captures. The third place guy got 10 kills, so controllers for the win. One of the things with these two that I've noticed, and it's because of the the touch overlay that they both, the V3 app does and the Mantis Pro app does for this, is when you touch the screen, it then registers that separately from the touch inputs that these buttons add to it. So there will be a delay. So if I'm running around and I want to grab out my tactical, I still have this pushed up because I was running, but it doesn't register this anymore until I do it again, and now it'll register that. So I'm like backpedaling. I'll be like, you know what? I want my gun out. I don't want the grenade out. And it's like, wait, there we go. But like I'm holding this back, not backpedaling until I do it again. Now, and it's the same way with this one using the V3 app. I have noticed while playing with this one that it is easier to hit targets in the distance because there is more precision, a little more control with the joysticks as moving left and right. Also, with the larger joysticks, when you go to turn around when facing one direction, the turnaround speed is much faster. There's a bit of an acceleration when you go all the way to the left. The other thing that I have noticed is sometimes there is a delay in input, and there will also be I'll be like running this way, and all of a sudden like the character will be facing that way, and not really lag, but like jumping around. And I just think that's because the Galaxy S8 is so old, and this game is a little bit too graphically intensive for the Galaxy S8, that it will like get hung up in a certain point, and then when it shows me the screen again, I'll be facing somewhere totally different, running or doing something different. The other thing too is sometimes with this one, when you push too many buttons and the Mantis Pro app is touching the screen too many times, then it won't register some of the inputs. So like if I'm aiming down sights and holding the trigger down to shoot, and then moving, and then I go to switch weapons or something, or reload, or then it won't register one of the inputs. Whereas with this guy, I never remember when I was playing having a time where I'll push a button and nothing will happen. Like right there, I was aiming down sights, and I pulled the trigger, and I did not shoot at all. Now there, I did shoot, I just had bad aim, and that guy got me first. But the guy who was on the floor below me while I was in the balcony, I pulled the trigger here, and there it is. See, I'm holding down the trigger right now, and those guys were shooting at me, and nothing happened. And so that does happen frequently with the combination of the Razer Kishi. I don't think it's the Razer Kishi's fault. I just think it's the Galaxy S. Oh snap! The Galaxy S8 being an old phone and a not very well treated phone, as I have dropped it way too many times. Oh, did you see that there? I was shooting at him, and the next thing you know, I was looking at the sky. Let's see how I did. Kill death. Wow, okay, I did very poorly with this one. So the controller doesn't make you much better. It just gives you a slight advantage. I only went 14-6, which is way worse than the previous match with this controller. Now, I'm going to try this one one more time. We'll see what happens. So let's get that set up.
Thank you so much for watching part 3 of my series on budget gaming controllers. This video is longer than my other controller reviews, but I did also include a tutorial on how to set up the Mantis Pro app with Mantis Buddy. This should allow the use of any third-party controller with COD Mobile. This controller is my favorite of the 4 that I tested. The compact size of this controller when it is collapsed makes it super easy to transport, and it is not much bigger or thicker than a standard tri-fold leather wallet. While it is snapped together, it feels very sturdy, and I don't have to worry about it getting tossed around in my book bag. Whereas the Bebincool controller feels like one of my textbooks would snap it in half if it got jostled on top of the controller in my backpack. I very gently coaxed the Razer Kishi around my Moto G100 as I did not want to break the ribbon cable holding the two parts together. The G100 is one of the tallest phones manufactured in the last 3 years at 6.63 inches in length. This is 0.2 of an inch longer than the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra's 6.43 inches in length, and 0.3 of an inch longer than the iPhone 14 Pro Max's 6.33 inches in length. In this size comparison chart from Phone Arena, the red box is the Moto G100, the blue box is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and the green box is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I think it is safe to say that this Razer Kishi will work with pretty much any Android phone, but not any tablet because of the USB-C port on the Kishi needing to plug into the middle of the bottom of the phone. The first generation Kishi is also available with the Lightning connector for iPhones for a little bit cheaper than the USB-C version. Also, the iPhones do not need the Mantis Pro app because of their universal controller support. On Android, Activision only allows the use of an official Xbox or PlayStation controller in COD Mobile matches, so these on-screen overlay apps are a workaround to be able to use cheaper controllers. That is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed my evaluation of this controller. If you have yet to see my first 2 videos of this series, please watch those comparisons as well. Have a great rest of your day. Blessings!